Hi, it's me, the Judas of classical music, and I'm back with another Tutorial Tuesday. You know what that means. I'm bored and out of ideas. Today we're going to be learning the tempo from Jesus Christ Superstar because I'm shamelessly cashing in on all the JCS hype because of Cynthia Erivo and Adam Lambert. I was there. You should check out my shorts if you haven't. I did communion at the Last Supper, like this song. And if you don't know, JCS is my favorite musical ever and has some of the coolest guitar music in all of Broadway history. So let's start learning. Now there are actually two ways that you could play this. This is going to be like a little choose your own adventure depending on how trash you are at guitar. The first way is to just play single notes. And those notes are on the G string, the 7th fret, 5th fret to 3rd fret. If you, for some reason, use note names, that's D, C to B flat. And then you go up on the B string and you start on the 8th fret and same pattern, down 2 frets at a time. Okay, and that's the intro or verse or whatever you want to call it. If you're playing single notes, it's just that pattern the full way through. Now, if you're badass enough, you could also play thirds, the harmony. This is what that sounds like. So that first third I'm playing there is the 3rd fret. I'm barring the G and the B string. And then A and C, or the 2nd fret of the G string with the 1st fret of the B string. And then the 3rd fret of the G string and the 5th fret of the D string, so we go down a string. And then finally you're going to go up a string, 3rd fret on the high E and 4th fret on the B, to 1st fret of high E and 3rd fret of B, and then 4th fret of B to the 5th fret of G, so down a string. So those are the two ways you could play that bit of the song. You can either play it in thirds or as single notes. I should also mention that in the original recording from like the 70s, the guitarist isn't even really playing like this, 7-5-3. He's really starting on the 6th fret and he's doing like a kind of vibrato bend up to 7. Anyways, after that part, we move on to the part that goes like... So that starts with the 5th fret of the D string, up to 7, 8, and then up to the G string 7, and finally the B string 8. Play that twice, and then you do something very similar. You move up a string to the G string 5, 7, 8, and then 8 all the way up the B and the E string. And congrats, you've learned almost the entire song. Let's review what we've done so far. I should also mention that this song is in 7, which means you're not counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like you would with most songs, you stop at 7. So let me see if I could do that and play at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So hopefully your metronome has a 7/8 option, otherwise this would be very hard to practice with a metronome. Anyways, the song goes back and forth between those two parts that I just taught you until the key changes. So this is the part where the music gets really intense and everyone starts screaming and they're fucking like animal noises and shit. And this part's in thirds, whether you like it or not, so it's time to get good. Lock in. The first chord is 12th fret, G and B string. Next chord, 10th fret B, 11th fret G. And then you just move that shape down 2 frets. And then you have the same shape you just used, but now it's 13 and 14 on the B and G strings. Move it up 2 frets, and then back down to 13 and 14. And then the same pattern we just did. So let's play that all together. And then when it does the it starts on the 7th fret of the A to the 9th fret, 10th, and then D string 9, G string 9. And I normally just bar that 9th fret with my ring finger rather than play with different fingers because it's just easier to bar it. And then you move that same shape up. 9th fret of G string, 10th fret of B. And then you go back to your thirds. This continues until Jesus comes in triumphantly with an E major chord. And then it's an A major chord. And then back to E major. And then we get to the part with the lepers, which is kind of the same song, but also kind of a different song. But a lot of it is pretty similar. So it just starts with the E power chord. So that's just open E, 2nd fret of A and D strings. And then the second time. And then an A power chord. So open A string, 2nd fret D and G strings. Back to E. So that's a see my eyes like an hobby, see stand like an hobby, won't have it, you can make me won't see this tongue like an hobby. And then it's the same patterns we just learned after the key change, so when all this shit was going crazy. Starting with the A string, 7th fret. And then you go back to your thirds. And that's the whole song. Try practicing it with the song so you can get a feel for it and get a feel of the layout of the different parts. And if you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions for other tutorials that you'd like to see, either on guitar or piano or literally anything else, please put them in the comments. I will respond to them. But happy practicing and break legs.